How are you doing? I mean, you're the best person to ask as to whether drivers should have more testing in a year.
Yeah.
Is it a yes or a no from you after 3 days?
I mean, for us at the minute, yes. We need all the testing we can get. We need the time to prepare for next week. And without these tests, we'll be in a much worse position going into the race next week. So for us, it's very beneficial at the minute. But yeah, I mean, everyone has problems every now and then. You know, other people had them previous years and so on. And today this year so far, we've run into our troubles. But I don't mind. I don't mind the challenge of just going straight in and not having the time to prepare. I think that's what people love about the short race weekends with the sprint race. F1 straight into quali. It's that kind of vibe. So I don't mind, to be honest.
And when I spoke to Andreas yesterday, he was quite sort of serious about the problems. A lot of team principals and drivers, I guess, tried to sort of sweep it under the carpet and sort of say, oh, it's going to be fine. But I kind of sensed it was a pretty serious problem. How on top of it are you now with the brakes?
It's a brilliant question.
Thanks. My journalism is epic.
We have no. I mean, I think we're on top of it. We obviously know what the problems are. We know what we're suffering with, and so on. But coming up with the perfect fix is always the question of do we have that or not? And that's what we're unsure about really until we get to next week and we put it all together. But the team back at MTC are working hard, and of course a lot of the guys and girls here to understand the problems, obviously why they happened in the first place and why we encountered them, and then work on a fix for next week. But it's not a simple thing, so it's quite a complicated area. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time to come up with these parts and so on. So I think that's why it's the challenge to get it all here and in a good condition for next week.
And to just clarify, it's not a Bahrain-related problem, it's a McLaren problem?
It's a temperature problem. So Bahrain being hotter is, of course, the spark for it all. But there's going to be other hot races out of the season, so it's not just specified for here, but here definitely makes it a lot worse.
And while you were out in the car, you've just kind of grown more teammates potentially. Oscar Piastri now going to potentially be a reserve if he's needed, and then Colton Herta as well.
Yeah.
Discussion's been going for quite a long time, so have you been involved in the yes or no process with
Not
Oscar?
at all.
But what do you make of having these two extra guys within the fraternity?
I mean, it's good. It's always good to have the new drivers. Apart from never wanting them to be quick, them to be quicker than you. They're always welcome. You know, it's always good to have them, especially if there's two old drivers in the team. To have someone new come in and be there waiting is always a good thing. Especially Oscar, because how he performed last year in F2 was pretty amazing. So it's deserved, and when someone deserves it, you know, they should be in Formula One. It's just you can get unlucky with timing and everything like that. But it's always good. They're good drivers. Like Colton, I know very well, and I grew up with him a little bit. So one of my good mates. So excited to see what they got.
And just to your current teammate, has Daniel been dialing in on kind of Zoom, or is he not well enough for that? How has he been kind of kept up?
He can turn the camera on. No, I think he's getting fractionally better for sure. And we've been texting back and forth, and we'll have a call with him, especially after today, just to give them the rundown of what's been happening. You know, the improvements we've made, the things we're struggling with the most, because he can always come up with ideas. You know, even if he's in his bed and he's binge watching Drive to Survive, he still has ideas and can come up with things and so on. And he drove the car in Barcelona, so he can relate to everything. And of course, as a team, we want to make sure we're prepared together for the first race. And as a team, it's also, I guess, a little bit of my job to make sure that he's up to date, he knows everything, and we can work well together going into next week to get some good results.
What's the emoji for WhatsApp tonight? What are you sending him?
The puking one, and then thumbs up.
Yeah. Thank you so much. See you next week.